As we begin our study of music, the first thing that we are going to do is to do a comparison between music and a foreign language, because music is a language. If we were to take Russian and we would compare the Russian language to music, or you could put the Greek language here, or any language that has a different alphabet than music. The first place we would have to start is the alphabet. And in music, the alphabet is the notes. Then if we're going to be good in a language, we have to know how to pronounce it. We would have to learn the phonics. And in music, it is a type of ear training. And that is built into the Circaean method. Once we have learned the alphabet, then we put the letters together to form words. And in music, the words are the chords. And what I found very fascinating when I first saw this was they both end in ORDS. Then if we're going to be good in a language, we need to learn how to spell, and we have to learn the grammar of that language. And in music, we learn how to spell our chords and our intervals, and theory is the grammar of music. There are noun chords and verb chords in music. And when you know what is a noun and a verb in music, then you have the beginnings of being able to improvise your own music. Once we've got the words and the grammar, we start putting sentences together. And in music, the sentences are called a phrase. And then the sentences put together the story or the idea. And in music, the story is the song. In the traditional system, most of us were left at the alphabet stage of a language. We did learn some chords, but when we went to play music, we didn't see them. We saw only the notes. So the most important thing to remember is that music is a foreign language. It has its own alphabet. It has its own grammar. It has its own sentences. And as we start learning this language, what a joy not only to be able to learn another language, but to be able to play it and enjoy it for ourselves. Now, where did this methodology of learning music begin? Is this the way that the composers were taught way back at the time of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, Chopin? No. If they had been taught music as an alphabet, we would never have had the music that they wrote. When their parents realized that their children had a talent for music, they sent them to a theorist, to someone who would teach them the grammar of music. So how did we get this methodology now? Right around the 1900s, because so many people knew the language of music. There were so many composers that basically there were a couple of composers who thought that all the music had been written that could be written. And they wanted to invent a new kind of music. And that new kind of music is called atonal music. It broke, or it has its own grammatical structure. It does not use any of this grammatical structure. And when it was first performed, actually the audience didn't like it at all. And in fact, most people don't like it even today. And if someone says, what does it sound like? To some people it may be harmonious, to many it is discordant, or it may sound like outer space music, or something that doesn't have the sound that most people like. So why did it stick around for the last 100 years? The people in the educational system got on the bandwagon and started teaching this music, the atonal music, and we lost the art of teaching music as a language. In order to play this music, you basically have to look at notes. There are no chords, or very, very few, and they are not emphasized. So a person was forced to look at the alphabet and not the language of music. The biggest thing to remember is that music is a language, not just an alphabet. And in this workshop, what we're going to be doing, though, is establishing the alphabet. We have to, in any language. And the alphabet is the notes, and the whole purpose of this beginning workshop is to get the notes, the alphabet, in an easy, fun way. And at the very last chapters of these DVDs, we lay the foundation for chords, which are the vocabulary of music. And then as you begin in our level 1, that is where we begin.